Hello everyone and welcome back to Train Sim World 6. This is a brand new game, said no one ever. Yes, this is Train Sim World 6. Basically the difference is, instead of there being 5 differences you need to spot, there's now 6. And if you manage to spot all the differences, then you get a gold medal, because you'll be doing better than what most people are able to spot, i.e. no difference. This is Train Sim World 6, and today we are not driving one of the new routes because we can always get those at a discount when they eventually realise they want to discount them to get more people to buy them. So instead we're driving one of the routes that was 90% off as Train Sim World 6 released, or as part of the autumn sale. I'm not sure which one exactly it's to do with, and it's the Bremen-Oldenburg route. This comes from a simpler time when there was a lower number in front of Train Sim World. That is 2 or 3. A great thing about Train Sim World 6 is that you have to install everything over again. So that can be over 100 gigabytes that are installed over again, downloaded again from your Steam. That can take, well, yes, you're right, quite a while. All so you can experience a brand new game that looks completely different to its previous rendition. Again, said no one ever. But yes, I had to leave my computer on overnight so it could install, I suppose, about 46 gigabytes worth of DLCs. Why you can't just carry them over, considering there's absolutely no changes to the game engine. There is no major changes, but if you have failed to play Spot the Difference, I'm happy to tell you now what are the differences, or more like, well, the similarities. It'd probably be easier doing that. We are in the BR, Deutsche Bahn BR 110. Yes, this train is leaving. Based in the early 2000s. This is the first time. Oh, I forgot about that. This is the first time I'm playing this with a new graphics card, and I just applied too much power too quickly, and I have to reset everything, don't I? Lovely. The key. Well, that's what's that key. Anyway. That's off. Great. I did actually do the training module, but for some reason I think what happens is when you try to go too quickly, it does that. So let's just build up our brake pressure. That key is usually twistable, so I will get onto what are the changes to Train Sim World in just a second. I just might have to reset the physics for this. Yep. Desk light off. There wasn't anything else that has to be switched on. Okay, we'll just reset the physics. Was that also gone? Oh my god, they've got rid of that. There used to be, oh, that's another great addition to Train Sim World. They got rid of the reset the physics. Where's the bloody reset the physics? Ah, you must be kidding me. Did they actually get rid of that? Ah, for flip's sake, why have you done that? Why would you possibly do that? Like, why would you get rid of something that was clearly beneficial to everyone? Okay, I'm starting to love this game even more. I mean, I think this needs to be reset, like, but I have reset it, so we might just have to restart this. That's the horn. Release that. Okay. So that's another. So the first great thing they've done is they've gotten rid of the reset the physics, because why would they? But basically, very quickly, what are some of the new additions to Train Sim World 6? So this is the free starter pack, which you can get until the 11th of November. If you think Dovetail Games are doing this because they're being generous, they're not. The reason they're doing this is because they have rightly realised that very few people are willing to actually. Very few people are actually willing to pay like 30 quid every year, or sorry, 40 quid now for the exact same game as the previous year. So this is basically a way to get people to who are not going to pay for that to upgrade the game on their own accord, and that way when they do so, they are likely to at least buy some DLCs. That's pretty much the thinking behind that. That is Dovetail's game, Dovetail Games' strategy there. Well, in terms of what is new, I have the list here on the screen, so let me just see what it says, because you'll be forgiven for forgetting that there is actually differences in this. There is basically some patches, and here are the exciting differences. Operate new locomotives, because you can't do that if you get a new DLC. Explore new horizons, because again, you can't do that as a part of a DLC, it has to be a new game. Become the expert on solved train faults. So this is one of the main features of the now introduced train faults, which again couldn't be introduced as part of a DLC or part of, you know, an upgrade to TSW5 or TSW4 or TSW3 or TSW2. Keep your ears open for announcements. So yeah, they finally have announcements. It only took them, what, 6 renditions of the same game with the same name to finally actually get announcements. Well, that's an achievement in itself, you know. So I mean, you gotta give them that at least. Like, at least they got announcements. That is an achievement. So there's meant to be announcements now. So these announcements, let's see where they are. Where are these announcements? Because roam the platforms and check tickets in conductor mode. So I think the announcements are just in the stations and the platforms, but there was already announcements in the stations and the platforms. Like, this isn't something new. Like, if you went to UK DLCs, they already had them there. And then there is so there's no, I don't know if there's train announcements on actual trains, which is something we would want, and it's something they could include, but I actually don't think that's something they have, unfortunately. And then the last thing is tailor experience, manage your layers, alter the frequency of faults, and toggle new auto settings. That is, use the settings. Oh wow. Well done, Dovetail Games. That's what I mean by spot the difference. There's actually so little difference between this and the previous version of the game that they have to add in that 6 points. Was that actually 6 points? That is the real question. Was that actually 6 points? So that's the part of the spot the difference. It's like, oh wait, there's a difference. And then they have to even make up something like alter your experience. Oh, that sounds like it's a great grand new thing. But if you take a look here, I'm on the wrong page, so I have 2 screens here. If I go 2 screens and just looking at the second thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that, 6 differences for Train Sim World 6. Although 2 of those could be DLCs, 1 of those is not even a difference; it's just a setting. So in actuality, it's more like 3 differences for Train Sim World 6. So yeah, this is the excitement. You know, I've been waiting years to play this. Well, actually 1 year, because last year this time we got Train Sim World 5. I mean, look folks, at this point we all know the story of Dovetail Games. Like, there's no point in labouring on it. It's no point of being like, oh my god, like, you know, because it does become a bit stale, all this. Now I'm not going to do the full route just because I have other things to attend to. It's a Wednesday morning at like 7:26 AM as I'm recording this. So literally the idea is just to kind of show you Train Sim 6. I don't really want to get a fault because I have no idea how to solve that. But like, you know, in terms of the game, it's pretty much the same thing. And now we're playing this also with a new GPU, the AMD 760XT. So at least the graphics are a lot better because you have 16 gigabytes of VRAM versus 6 when you have the 1050. So that's an extra 10 gigabytes of VRAM at your disposal. So yeah, but basically now there are some DLCs, as there are always DLCs, on sale, because if they can't get you money by buying Train Sim World 6 and they're going to give you the free starter pack, they're going to try to get you to buy at least something. So I got this for 3 quid, you know. But I guess with them, every penny counts when you're that obsessed with making money. And you know, this is like FIFA. Maybe Dovetail's game's dream is that one day, the same way EI Electronics Arts, the makers of FIFA, is being bought out now. So basically they were in the stock exchange. I think the stock price was about $170, something like that. And then they're being bought out by a Saudi Arabian company that is going to buy them at 210 per share. So you know, shareholders are getting a 35% premium. And maybe that is the dream for Dovetail Games, that someone is going to come out and buy out their FIFA equivalent, but for trains. So yeah, this is really it. So some of the benefits: you get to wait hours to reinstall everything from scratch. Like, I really don't get, like, this is the one thing I don't get, because like I was like, why is this game taking so long to download? I was like looking, it was like 4%, and then I checked, I was like, oh wait a minute, it's the DLCs, like, it's trying to download 100 gigabytes, it's trying to download all the DLCs. I'm like, I don't want all the DLCs. So anyway, about the route, we are driving the Bremen to Addon route. I think we started off in Bremen, I wasn't really paying attention. And this is based off in the Saxony region of Deutschland. We are in the west of Germany, near the Dutch border. This is based in 2000. It's a nice and old train. It's kind of like from the 60s. It was built in the late 50s, early 60s. So it has like the typical kind of old method of driving trains with the tap changer. These tap changers aren't really compatible with my driving style because you have to actually be very gradual with them, because as you saw, the train wouldn't move at the start when you did that. Anyway folks, I would say I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on Train Sim World 6, but I think most rational people have the same thoughts on Train Sim World 6. The other thing is, even if you look at the reviews, even people who got it for free are like, this is a complete joke of a new game. So, you know, I don't think there'll be many people saying, oh yeah, Train Sim World 6, it's revolutionary, it's amazing, it's 10 out of 10. Well, it's definitely 10 out of 10 for rehashing the same old, dated and at this point exhausted methodology of just rolling forward the same game with a different name. So anyway, let's find that. Let's speed this up because I need to get out of here. I need to upload this before I get out of here. I made a thumbnail for this. So speed. Hopefully it's not raining outside. Which, God, yesterday was horrendous. I actually saw my, not completely different, I saw my 2060, and the very funny thing is I saw that this person, we had agreed to 150, whatever, and then he's sending me messages, I'm cycling up to leave in the bloody card. When you do 130, it's 130 in CX, like, first of all, it's not 130 in CX, second, it's 160, or 155, and he's like, oh, but it has warranty, and I was like, oh, look, the reason it has warranty is because there's 30 cards, whatever. So then it's like, look, we agreed to this, whatever. And then he's like, okay, I'll give you 150 and you can send me back 10 euro tomorrow. I was like, what? And like, it was just the most desperate kind of negotiation tactic. This is like, you go up, you buy a carton of milk for 2 quid, and then you tell the shopkeeper, give me back 10 cents the next day. Like, it was just a funny story, but also equally absurd at the same time. There's also the Providence DLC that was on sale. I think the DLCs are usually on sale that were in previous editions of Train Sim World. People have forgotten about it. I think this one is from the early days of Train Sim World. I got a new microphone. My old microphone had a thing with a button which you could just mute it with. This one doesn't, so I'll have to do this. Having 2 screens is a game changer. It would have been especially a game changer when I was actually streaming back in the day. This is quite a nice victor, I have to say. So also, sorry, the routes that come with Train Sim World 6. Sorry, I'm not like deliberately getting confused there. You know, I think they should actually have a little watermark at the top, just so you remember that you're playing Train Sim World 6, because it can be easy to forget. Is they have 3 routes. They have a painted to, like, it's basically the west coast of England route. Apparently it's one of the most requested. That's been contended, but I don't know. They have a Leipzig to Dresden route, so obviously they're really using assets from both DLCs that have included Dresden and Leipzig because they do exist. And the American route is I can't even remember, to be honest, not gonna lie. Not that I have much interest in the American route either. Power. I see this is an older train, so I don't know how long it takes for this to slow down. It's really fast though. Yeah, let's play it safe. Yeah, I think we stopped way too early because we're running late and I left early, so I was not meant to do that. Whoops. I wonder how this tab change works. It's a very interesting system, obviously, because I guess it's like a gear system, I want to say. But look, I'm not an engineer, so I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, it breaks quite quickly, actually. Oh, I think that's the bloody Sifa. Yeah, it's the bloody Sifa thing stopped us. I think. So yeah, I did the tutorial for this, but once I got it moving I stopped the tutorial because I was like, I'm not going to drive this for 5 minutes, I don't have to learn how to stop it, which is, oh yeah, you use the brakes. But clearly that might have been a bit of a mistake in that respect. And we're arriving to the station late, so yeah, definitely running behind schedule. So folks, that's Train Sim World 6. You know, we'll be again this time next year we'll be at the same position, Train Sim World 7. And then there'll be 7 differences for you to have to spot. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and more importantly, hopefully you enjoyed this new rendition of the same game with a different name. The strategy has become super lame. Oh, and I'm doing the brakes the wrong way around. So folks, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. You can dislike it if you disliked it, but YouTube hides that because the White House didn't like the fact it got ratioed. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that, but that's my opinion. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe. You can also donate on Streamlabs if you're so inclined, or give it a super thanks. That's also a possibility. Or you could give Dovetail Games a super thanks by buying Train Sim World 6. Although would I recommend that? Well, look, I'll leave that up to you. You know. So folks, that is it. And until next time, bye for now.